Yeah, I can't wait for this power to come back on.
Well, yeah, I wrote that Facebook page down inside that you gave me, man. Good to know there's good people out there, man. There aren't too many of us out there.
Roger that. Basic CB radio installation. What do you need? You ask yourself. Yeah. You know you want to be able to get a CB radio? Okay. What else do you need? You need an antenna. And if the antenna is not inclusive of proper coax cable, you know, the antenna cable between the CB and the antenna, and you'll need at least enough power cord to be able to hook up the way you want it, or the type that you need to be able to hook it up, if it's going in a vehicle. If it's in your home, you're setting up a little base station, even as modest as it might be, you're going to need some sort of 12-volt DC power supply. And also, if you want power for if electric goes out, you know, prepping for the what if, then you need to get a 12-volt battery and something to charge your 12-volt battery and keep it maintained. There's a couple ways to do that. You can get a battery tender maintainer. They'll keep your battery topped off. That way you can always have that power supply. That's what, you know, for your CB off the battery. That's the way I've done it at home. I haven't gone as far as doing the solar setup yet, which I would love to do, but I'll need the solar panels to be able to do that, placement for it, and also a charge controller that would mediate charging and what power is used from battery and or solar at the same time. Upon heavier usage of the CB, like transmitting, if you're talking to someone, then it's going to draw a little bit more power. If it's at nighttime, as far as solar, well, you know it's just coming off the battery, and then that solar will help top off the battery in the daytime. But if you're talking on it during the daytime also, hopefully it's enough to be able to have the radio use powered at, and also keep your battery topped off. So on a base station and some vehicle installations, as far as cabling between the CB and antenna, you're going to need probably an extra cable, and probably if you're joining a couple cables together to make do, some couplers go between there. So what you end up needing as far as specifics, you need cabling with the PL259 connector ends on it, because the female end for that connector is the SO239 that's usually on the back of the radio, and you might need some couplers that are the SO239 double-ended on it to join two cables together to extend the length of a cable. If you just got the enough length in a second cable purchase online to go with maybe the provided magnet mount antenna cable. So another thing you might need, if your CB does not have a sine wave reflection meter, that is SWR, is normally specified as SWR, sine wave reflection. If it doesn't have the built-in meter for that, to be able to tune your antenna correctly, you'll need to get at least an inexpensive sine wave reflection meter, so you can tune your antenna to the lowest sine wave reflection as possible. The reflection is when you transmit, then you need to be able to have it reflect as little as possible of the transmitted power from your radio back to your radio from the antenna. So if you tune it to where it has the lowest as possible, it's getting the most efficient amount of transmission through and out through your antenna, as opposed to some reflected back to your main driving transistors of the amplifier section for the signal that's in your CB, in your radio. You have too much of that, and you'll end up wearing down on the radio's components, or possibly, if it's way high, you could short out your radio's driving transistors for driving the power of transmit. So, not a good thing, and not good for signal going out either, because you want to be able to get that power out where it needs to go, not reflected back at your source of transmission. So, simple enough. Few things that you need, and if you have to get a separate meter for checking SWR, then you'll need another jumper coax cable, another little cord, right, to be able to hook between your radio and the meter. Then you can plug the antenna cable into the antenna input connector on the back of the meter. So there you go. A few quick things. Hope you enjoyed that. If you liked it, please click like. Go ahead and like that. It'll help me out for my channel and also for this video. And also, please subscribe. I will have more videos with basic needs for simple preps. I'm still working on simple prep for short-term water storage, and also power generation with generator, what I got for my house. I don't have anything fancy with the solar yet, but that winter in 2021, in February, I'm in Texas. We lost power for 5 days, water for 2.5 days, and with that we lost our cell tower after 4 hours of power going out. The weather radio broadcast stopped later that same day the power went out. It's like, what good is that? So being able to have other communications and reception of radio for information was the only means we had, because we had no internet, no home phone, no cell phone, nada, nothing. So I'll be bringing you a few tidbits on videos, short videos, where you'll be able to see what I'm looking to do to overcome those short-term needs, like the one I had, in 2021. That was a cold, unexpected ice storm. They say once in 100 years. So, these things happen. Prepping for those times for basic short-term needs, you always need to start somewhere. And if you don't have any of that started at all, I'm looking to show you basic start, and then upon that you can grow from there. Have a great week.